Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Let me move the microphone closer. Being 2000 at chess is really, really difficult. Now, I know some of you are not 2000. I know some of you are, maybe far less than 2000. Some of you are probably much better than 2000 rapid elo on chess.com. But it is a really difficult spot to be in because you are good enough to know what your mistakes are. You're not oblivious to them. So when you do a game review, you're like, oh, I can't believe I missed it. But also, it's an insanely difficult level. And when you play good players below you, as I did in today's video, you can lose a lot of rating points. I was playing in the Improver Sunday Arena. I don't get to play it often. This is the first time I'm playing it this year. I generally have commitments on a Sunday, but today I was kind of, off for the evening. It was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all those who are celebrating around the world. I know it's not in every country. Today, on May the 10th, 2026, they have Mother's Day at different times in different places. But to all those who are celebrating, Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers around. So I was playing this arena after spending a large portion of the day with my mom, and it was not great. I finished it not so long ago. I only played 4 of the 5 games. I'll explain what happened in the 5th game not so long. I had the white pieces in the first round against a 1500, and we got into an Italian game. And, c3, d6, h3, which is an okay move. I don't need to play it, but I play it anyway. And queen f6. And I promise you, at this point, I thought I was going to win. I promise you, at this point, I thought I was going to win. When I saw Queen f6 on the board, I already had ideas of, bishop g5, bring this bishop back, that queen's going to get trapped, or at least, bishop here, get my knight into the center. Now I wish I hadn't played c3 if I could have seen into the future. So I played d3, just simply, get this out, continue development. And here he played a tricky move. He played bishop d7. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I played a4, double engine move. And here he played queen g6. And I had to spend 3 minutes here, which already tells you a lot. Like, I was not happy spending 3 minutes. I just couldn't calculate properly. But I did find kind of the best plan. And the reason is I'm torn between a lot of moves here. Castles was the first thing I consider, but that just straight up loses the pawn and almost gets me mated. So that's it's the second choice of the engine, actually, castles. Second choice of the engine, because after castles, bishop takes here, there is knight g5. So mate is prevented, the bishop is hanging, and this fork is threatened. So I could have got away with castles, but I didn't like it. Another move I thought of was just bishop to e3 to block this pin out, but then I'm still hanging this. So here, I came up with an interesting idea. I'm not even going to address this. It's better for him to take. One idea in the Italians, if they play a4 and they don't give the bishop an escape, you can play b4 and trap the bishop. And so ultimately, that's what I go with. And I allow queen takes g2. And now it's important the way you move this rook. You've got 2 choices. Or I suppose you've got 3. Only one of them is good. Okay. 2 of them are good, 1 is better than the rest. Rook h2. I completely discounted rook f1 because I thought it was stupid. But it's the second choice of the engine. Rook g1, but that doesn't work because of bishop takes f2. So you have to play rook to h2. Now bishop takes f2, all the same. And now you play king e2 or king d2. I play king e2, that's the better of the choices. Queen goes back, and now I'm up a bishop. And once again, here I thought I was going to win. I thought there's no way I lose this game. Bishop takes h3, queen g1, queen takes g1, knight takes g1 is a mistake. Apparently, bishop takes f7 is better. And if they take here, knight takes g1 check because it picks up the bishop right back. Apparently that's why it doesn't like knight takes g1. It thinks it's a mistake. Whatever. Now I get check. I just slide over. He brings the bishop back, and here I just move my knight. I didn't want to take. I thought about taking. Spend a little bit of time. 50 seconds. Here he plays long castles. Inaccuracy. I play king c2. Just stepping off of this, so there's no tactics. Getting my king off the center line. I'm going to bring my bishop out. I'm going to double the rooks. I'm going to win this game. knight to f6, bishop to g5. And I thought, well, takes, I win the pawn. This is going to be easy. And then he went knight g4, which is not the best move, but it's quite challenging. I found the best response. Bishop takes e6, pawn takes, and now rook to g2. I'm playing very well here. But ultimately, as you can see, I just spoiled the game, which is upsetting, but I think you could hint at it. Yeah, I found the best plan. I found the best plan to combat this weird move. And then I played knight to f3, rook fd8. I brought my knight to the center, which apparently is a mistake. h6, and bishop to e3. And it dawned on me that even though I'm up a piece, he's got 3 pawns for the piece. And 2 of them are clean passes. So this is not an easy game by any stretch. And now he plays g5. And now knight cd2 is wrong. Apparently here, b5. I counted this move several times. I just never found the right moment to play it. But apparently this is the right moment to play it, b5. Instead, I brought my knight back. Because I wanted to defend this and push in the center. That was my game plan. It's a bad plan. He plays a6. Now I push in the center, and it's a mistake. That's why I know it's a bad plan, because I hang e4. And you might say, wait, what do you mean you hang e4? Isn't this a free knight? No, it's not. I lose this knight, and now I'm losing. So g4 is wrong. Knight takes e4. D takes e5 is the best move, the best response. He takes here. I take back with the knight, so it's not hanging. He takes, and now bishop to d4. And now I've got a level game. I'm up a piece, for crying out loud. How is it level? Rook h7 is wrong. I play rook h1. Not necessarily. Apparently, just bishop takes e5. Just do this and play rook h1. Just do it in this order is better. Because after rook h7, rook h1, he could move the knight. And he does move the knight. I take it, and now I get the pawn back. Takes, and I get the rook. But this set of pawns is really strong, and I have to prevent this pawn from coming forward and not lose all my remaining pawns. So this is really difficult. g4 is wrong, but apparently rook g7 is the wrong response. Engine wants a5, just to lock everything down. I thought there was nothing wrong with rook g7, and apparently rook g7 was wrong. And what happens is he brings his king. I allow his king all the way in, as you can see. I just do nothing. I'm fiddling around on the queen side. How did his king get to f1? How did I allow the king from c8 to get to f1? And that's because, I don't know if you noticed, while I clicked through very quickly, I had king b3 mistake, c5 mistake, c takes d5 mistake. 3 mistakes in a row lost me this game. And then, yeah, ultimately he brought the king to f1, he promoted. I still had a bishop. I thought, maybe I can do something, but my king just got trapped in the center of the board. I had to give up the bishop, and ultimately I thought I could get a stalemate, but here I resigned because it's mate in 4. Game 2, now against 1557. So, I've got the black pieces, d4, knight f6, and, I lost a lot of rating points. I did. I started at, 2018 and dropped to, 2004, whatever it was, after this game. Takes. What was I after the last game? I was 2003. Okay. And I started at, 2018. So I lost, 15 rating points for that game. This was a normal opening. I've just kind of rushed through the opening because it was a standard queen's pawn. We got this interesting pawn structure, and I'll be honest, I got very lucky in this game. Because, nothing really matters in this game up until a point here. We have a couple of inaccuracies. Pressure's brewing, and I thought, here I've got a great position. I trade the bishop, which maybe wasn't the right move, but now I play knight f5. Knight f5 is wrong, but I had a very simple idea. And you're going to see that simple idea now, because takes. He brings a rook to c1. And I had a very simple idea. Knight takes e3. That was my idea. And I thought, boom! Brilliant move! I'm winning. You see? That's not a mistake, because in my mind, this is absolutely genius. It's a brilliant move. Apparently. It's not. Because takes, and here I thought, oh, this is easy. King h1, I pick up the bishop. Yes, if king h1, I do take on e2, and then I am completely winning. But he can play king f1. And now, even though I have d4, I'm just lost. We have to trade the bishops, and I can push my pawn but I'm completely lost. But I managed to keep the pawn alive, and now it's on d2. So that pawn that was on d5, I managed to get all the way to d2, and now there's tactics galore, because you can take my queen, I take with check, and then I take the queen back, and then I'm all of a sudden, up in exchange. But he plays rook d1, the best move. I play queen c2, and he brings the queen back, and I'm like, oh, now I'm bust. Queen c5, check. After a minute and a half of thought. By the way, we're playing 10 plus 2. My opponent has got just under 5 minutes. I've got 8 on the clock. I'm up 3 minutes. So now I'm back to, playing very speedy, rapid chess. King slides over. I play rook d5. He takes, and I just double the rooks. I thought it can't be horrible. I'm worse. I know I'm lost because I'm down a piece, and I'm going to be down a pawn. And now, what was in the last game? What happened in the last game? 2 passed pawns? Same problem. 2 clean passed pawns on my right-hand side. So I play h5, just so there's no back rank mate problems. And I thought, well, I can use the h-pawn to try and go after the king. That's all that's going to achieve. He brings the queen back. I, don't want to trade rooks. I safeguard my king, give a check. He blocks. And here he finds a way to trade the queens. So I didn't want to take because I thought that was too easy. So I slid my king over because I was like, if he doesn't trade queens, I'm golden here. But he traded queens. It's +5. You can't see the evaluation bar. It's +5. So there's no way I should be winning this game. But I'm like, look, I've got some pawns. He does have these 2, but I can kind of half blockade them, and I can push this e-pawn. And I can bring my king. So, don't get forked by the knight. Check, come in, and now kind of freeze his pieces. His knight's not frozen, it can move. There's not a lot of places it can move to, and I'm threatening the rook. And so here he goes this way. Don't blunder, a fork or anything. And here I just attack his rook. And he's only got one move, and that's to go to h3. Although apparently here, the engine says play knight to a3. Which is such a scumbag move, because if I take the rook, he forks me. And I will not win this endgame. I just won't. Because if I take this, this runs. So I'm dead. But he plays rook to h3. And now I push the pawn to e3. And now you've got to be so careful. Because he plays rook h4 and I play g5. He takes. And now it's a draw. It's now a draw because of rook takes b3. And you know why g5 was such a thing? And I'm so happy I played it. How long did I play g5? 18 seconds. This is such a great move because the rook can't come back into the game. He's forced to take the pawn. The knight is hanging. And if you move it, it's now -4. Okay, there's a couple of only moves. You can play rook takes g5. Lose the knight fully, but then play something like rook b5 and look for this. And this apparently might be a draw, especially if I trade. If I trade, I'm probably lost. So apparently that is it. Knight a5 is wrong because I give a check. His king goes back, and now it is mate in 3. King d3, he takes the pawn, and mate. And I won the game. And I gained a rating point. So we're 2004. Then we had game 3, which seems to have been doing its thing. I once again had the white piece, and you can see the rating has gone down. So what does that tell you about this game? It was another Italian, but this time no queen f6, queen g5 nonsense. No, this person is an enlightened individual. We had a very normal Italian game. There's not much to say here. We played like a lot of theory quite quickly. Like our clocks are still close to 10 minutes. There was takes. I probably didn't have to take. Taking was probably unnecessary. Now here I bring the knight in. He plays queen up, queen d6. I rotate the knight. This isn't completely accurate in terms of what we want. It's not exactly accurate. I probably could have played a bit better certain things. But the inaccuracies are coming. So rook 88 is like the last of the good moves. Now, knight e3 is an inaccuracy. Bishop e6 is an inaccuracy. Knight h4 is an inaccuracy. 97 is fine. Knight f3 is an inaccuracy. b5 is apparently alright. Knight to f1 is the best move. So after 3 inaccuracies in a row, best move. Still, the eval bar not really phased too much to move. Knight g6, knight g3. Now rook d7. What is the plan for either of us? We're just shuffling pieces around. Someone's got to do something. At one of these points for knight h4, I spent a minute. And here I go knight e4. And this is actually a bad inaccuracy. And he punishes me. Knight takes e4. Rook takes e4 is the best move. And now bishop f5. And the problem is, I'm losing this pawn. I'm losing e3. d3. Because he's just got too much stuff attacking it. And I can't slide the rook back one square because I lose the rook. So, my genius idea here was like, well, I'm just going to sack the rook. He sacrifices the rook. We don't shout it because it's a bad move. And now I'm just down the exchange. But I thought the board is still very closed. So his rooks don't necessarily have meaningful impact in the position. So I can come up with something. Don't trade queens here. We don't trade queens, even though we play queen g3. Although, like, apparently queen takes e6 is fine. I probably could have gone back to the center. But queen g6 is bad. Now he doubles the rooks, and now I just bring the bishop to e3. Takes, takes. And I thought, yeah, he might sack the rook back. Just to be up like a pawn, and to get in. I thought he might do this. Apparently this is still winning for black. It's minus, like, 2. But he doesn't. F takes e3, and here he plays c5. That's a great move. That's a great move. Now he's just kind of blockading this. I still go for it, because takes, takes, and then here an important move from him, queen e3 check. My king slides over to h2, and c takes d4. And here, I should take with the knight. I should take with the knight and allow this queen trade. Because this is apparently the best way to continue. I wanted desperately to keep the queens on, so I played c takes d4. He now forces the queens off the board. I completely mistook this move, so that's why I should have taken with the knight. I removed the knight, hoping for tactics, but he just takes. It's check. I take back, and he takes. And I should never win this game. I'm just lost. Sacked the rook early on, and remember I said the board was closed? Well, now we're just under fire. So I take here, because I thought he's not going to sack the rook, and then I can get this pawn back at least. But he takes. Now I play, rook d1, rook a8, and d5. Rook d6, jump my knight in. And he slides a king over. Now, apparently the better move here was king f3, if you can explain why. My knight continues to go forward, because I thought if I can pick up a fork here, I'm not so bad. I have to move my knight. Apparently the better move here is king f4. I don't understand how, because I just thought, like, this is winning. Because, like, this, I'm just dead. I don't know what he expected, the engine, that being. So, 97. He attacks my knight, and I go this way, and I thought for a moment my knight was trapped. He gives me a check, and now I can run my king really close. Rook b3, but now I just come here. Rook takes b4, and I thought, hey, I'm good. King e6 was too far. Apparently here d6 is much better. King e6 is too far. And king e6 is too far because now he attacks my knight. My knight goes to the wrong square. Probably here I could have brought it back. This might have been better. But again, it's still pretty bad. So knight b6 is wrong. But I wanted to defend the pawn. But here, rook e4 check. I go here. And he goes here. And now I have to defend mate. And I don't, because I didn't see it. I played g4. And I hung mate and won. Congratulations. And we lost 14 rating points for this. Down to 1990. And so we move to game 4. Black pieces again against the 1400. Notice. Just look at the games again. Game 1. 1571. Game 2, 1557. Game 3, 1629. Game 4, 1427. I'm 2000. Or I was. E4. Now I play French. Takes, takes. All opening theory so far. Nothing really too out of knowledge just yet. This game was weird. And I'll explain how it influenced the rest of the tournament. Because knight f6. Knight c3. Bishop e7. Bishop f4, c6, bishop d3, bishop g4, castles, castles, h3, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, knight bd7, rook fe1. And here, I played rook e8 and won the game. My opponent resigned. I gained 1 rating point back, and here's a really funny story, just for those of you who play online. After this game, I had a lot of time, so I clicked on one of the other games and I was watching it, and I got distracted, and my computer went to sleep. It didn't stay open, so I didn't get paid for round 5 of Improver Sunday this evening. So I got a 0 buy, so it means I didn't score any points, but they didn't pay me, so I didn't lose any rating for like a match abandonment or whatever. It detected me as offline and didn't pay me. So I only played 4 of the 5 rounds. And I managed to lose about 30 odd points. Because I was close to 2020, I ended 1991. So being 2000 is really, really difficult. I didn't play particularly well, but good news for those of you who are invested in the journey. I am back over 2000. I went, and I can actually check here on my phone. I went after this, I made a draw and gained a rating point back, so 1992, and then I won 2 games. I won 2 rapid games against 1996 and against 1996. Go figure. And I'm back at 2008. So yeah, being 2000 is really difficult on chess.com and in chess in general, because I know these mistakes. They were really bad. You review the games, you're like, oh, I had this miss, I should have played this. You know, and the thing is, you're not oblivious anymore. You know the mistakes that you're making, and you know you should be making them, but you continue to make them because it's chess, and chess is hard. But yeah, being 2000 is really difficult. And you know, a lot of people lose motivation because going up to 2100, which I've been, but now I'm really far down, or 2200, 2300, 2400, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of hours, and it's really difficult. And so that's why being 2000 is also really challenging. But let me know of the games, what you think. I played poorly. Let me know if it was Mother's Day in your country. That's maybe a much nicer way to end this video. Let me know if it was Mother's Day. Cheers.